This conference will now be recorded.
So, good morning, everybody. We are here assembled to do the presentation of Milestone 3, Phase 2. Without further ado, let's get started. Uh, so,
Like as we discussed in the previous milestone, the problems faced by the farmers, like they might be due to the poor decisions taken by them and the age-old techniques they are using to choose the crop and the fertilizer for their land, and also the climatic conditions are also not zinc with that, and there are a lot of factors which might affect the crop and the farmers, like might not be actually able to keep an eye on everything. So while some of the farmers are successful, but most of the farmers are facing these issues, and this is what we want to address and help them in the overall farming procedure. And we want to aid the farmers with informed decisions so that they can make good choice and choose the best. And so the objectives of this project is to recommend both the crop and the fertilizer which best suits for the particular soil and the weather conditions of that land. We are automating the irrigation system to release or block water to the land by considering the soil moisture level. We are integrating this with the Google Assistant, which will be a like much easier way to get the recommendations. And we are giving the real-time data of the soil through the sensor values so that they can have all the data in their fingertips through the web application which we have already deployed. So the main motive of this project is to give a complete package of recommendation system which will be a boon to the farmers in deciding what best suits for their land.
Okay, so coming to the machine learning module, as we have already seen in the previous milestone, this is the basic architecture. We'll be deploying various IoT sensors in the soil and we'll be taking data from the soil. And also there will be a provision for the user to input the NPK and pH values, and this data will be sent to the machine learning model where it will process the data and it will give the recommendation of the crops and also the fertilizer and the action to be made so that the quality of the soil will be improved.
Yeah, when we come to the IoT sensor module, we are collecting the data like moisture level of the soil, temperature, humidity, and gas sensor, where this data will be transmitted to the receiver, and the receiver will decode the message, and it will be sent to the cloud, and the data will be stored in the cloud.
So coming to the implementation details, I will be telling you where we got the data set from, how we choose the appropriate algorithm, and how we implemented it. So speaking about data collection, we got our data sets from data.cow.in, Kaggle, and other third-party sources. And there were some discrepancies in the data, and they were handled in the pre-processing step. So we had to merge the two CSV files to complete the get a complete feature set. So it required a lot of time and work to curate this data set, and we had to do a lot of pre-processing to fit some of the data and merge it. So like after we got the feature set, we moved on to the model training part. Here we trained around 6 algorithms, that is SVM, decision tree, naive bayes, XGBoost, random forest, and logistic regression. Like all of them gave a really good result actually, except SVM. And then we compared those algorithms and we had a discussion about which model will best suit for our system, and to export that module. So we've actually found out that the navy base was best suited for the system, so we exported that model. The detailed description of the navy base will be explained in the coming slides. So this was the entire workflow. Next slide. Yeah. So coming to the system architecture, there are 3 sections here, that is ML, IoT, and Flask application. We just discussed the ML part in the previous slide. So what happens in IoT module is the data is taken from the soil through the sensors. This data is transmitted from the sender module to the receiver module, and the receiver transmits it to the cloud. And we also take NPK and pH values from the user through the website, and even though these values are stored in the cloud, and both of these values are sent to the Flask application. Here we merge these two data and we pass this to our model that we exported, that is naive base. It returns the prediction which will be displayed on the web interface. So that was about the architecture.
So moving on, one other disclaimer was why we are keeping this explanation short is because it was already explained in detail in the previous milestone presentations. So we thought of giving more focus to the implementation part, showing you the code and showing how everything works and the testing details. That's why the theory details of the project are being kept short. So moving on how the data was curated. So this falls under the data pre-processing part of what Swati just mentioned. So there was one CSV called crop.csv, which had the temperature, humidity, rainfall, and soil moisture along with the crop. So it's a labeled data set. But the problem there was no NPK values. But on the other hand, as a good thing, we had fertilizer data which had the recommended NPK values which we got from credible sources. So what we did was we took the intersection of crops of both the CSVs. I will be explaining you the code, even the code of how we did that. So we took the crops that are present in both the CSVs, and then we randomly generated some NPK values to make the data set larger, keeping in consideration of if there will be any biases or will more increase in NPK value will actually affect the crop or not. So plus or minus 10 was what was taken, because even though a crop is high or low by 10 units in NPK, it can be repaired by the use of fertilizers. So that's why that random number was taken, and then we merged all this to get the final data set. So now on an end note, we built the model which has the feature variables as temperature, humidity, NPK values, pH, soil moisture, and the rainfall, which all these together are going to predict the variable crop. So that was about this slide. Moving on. Shiv Shankar?
Sorry, I was talking on the mute. Sorry, guys.
Okay.
Yeah. Moving on to architecture of this IoT module, where this system can transfer the data to 1 kilometer right now. And we are using a various sensor modules like DHT11 for sensing the temperature, humidity, and FC28 for soil moisture, and MQ135 for sensing the gas detection. And and where these data will be read from the microcontroller and it will be displayed in the LCD display. After that, the microcontroller will encode this data into a single message packet and it will be transferred into the receiver, where the receiver will be decode this and it will be sent to the cloud, and it will be stored in the cloud and going to display in the LCD display the data. Yes, next slide.
Yeah, okay. Speaking about the naive Bayes algorithm, the reason why this was chosen was because this is a classification task, and moreover, there are very chances of achieving at least 100%. I mean, almost 100% accuracy in classification problems. The reason why we chose naive Bayes for exporting was of its lightweight and its explainability, and it's a simple working in the background. So Naive algorithm, it works on conditional probability. So which actually which is actually explained with the formula P of A given B is equal to P of B by A plus P of A by P of B. That's the mathematical formula. So it's a naive way of choosing. What that actually means is no feature is dependent on another. If it was a regression task, then we would have to check the correlation, but since this is a classification task, we don't want any variable affecting the another variable. So it chooses everything in a very naive way. That is, there's no it doesn't match two or more features. So that means one feature will not affect the other feature. So and this is very good for multi-class classification, as I already mentioned before. It is also lightweighted. So what happens in the background of the naive-based working is, so if there are some 10 records, it calculates the conditional probability for every record, or something known as map. And the output is that record or that class which has the highest probability. To explain in layman terms, if there are three classes and the output for one class was 85%, another was 87%, another is 93%, what I'm talking about is the probability, then the third class, which has the probability of 93%, is explained. So that's what a naive-based working is. And moving on, Shivshankar, there?
No, it's me.
Oh yeah, okay, Purana, you can go ahead too.
So as you all know, we did a extensive literature survey in the phase 1 of the project, and we have come to a conclusion of the comparison of the chosen solutions. So in the previous solutions, coming to the IoT part, the range of transmission was very low. They were using Zigbee modules, whereas we are using LoRa module where the range can be up to 10 kilometers. Due to budget restrictions, we are using a smaller antenna with a 1 kilometer range. And in automatic irrigation system, there was only an option of turning it on or off. But in our proposed module, we have taken the soil moisture level, so it automatically turns on or off. And we have also integrated Google Voice Assistant. And the LoRa module is also like it consumes very less power compared to all other modules. And we have also integrated a solar panel for as a source of energy for the sender and the receiver. And in machine learning, as we saw in the previous papers during the literature survey, many of the models did not consider many features. They only took a very little number of features to build their model, and their accuracy was also very low. We have corrected this in our project. And in general, all the different models were available with less efficiency and accuracy. What we have done is we have integrated all that, and we have also improved the accuracy and efficiency of all these modules. And we have made it a complete package system for the farmers.
And to add to what Pandana said, we have achieved a whooping accuracy of 99.8%. So that's really good. So moving on, uh, the test strategy. So the system was subjected to a lot of test conditions, and we did a lot of testing actually. So there's one thing called JMeter, which does a load testing on the API. So we did that, and we found out that our API can handle 1,000 users simultaneously. So that's pretty good. That's pretty good for a engineering project. That's so if 1,000 users simultaneously hit our API, they all get responded back with 0% error. That means there is no failure in serving the API to them. So that was about the JMeter, and even the code is written in such a way. We have used extensive try and catch blocks wherever we think that the errors might happen, and appropriate display messages are used. Even there is logging, which was implemented in the Flask app, which logs everything, what a user requested, what was it served, what was his IP address, when was it accessed and all.
Nitin,
And yes, ma'am.
can you tell me about the JMeter testing?
Yeah.
Like, have you
So
written the
JMeter.
test cases for it, or have you automated it?
No,
You have
it
done
is
it.
an automation. It is an automation tool itself, JMeter. So it's based on
Yeah,
Java.
yeah,
Yeah. So
yeah.
we add thread. So what happens in JMeter is we create threads in our local system, which to the
Hmm?
server act like individual individual people, or distant people from different IP addresses. So
Hmm?
we created around 1,000 threads in my local system. So they all hit the API simultaneously, and they respond.
Can you show me that? Like, how
You
you have
want
done
the
the testing using JMeter?
Okay, that well, I think I uninstalled the software, but I shall send you the screenshot of that further with after this presentation is over. It's ready. We have done it, so it's not of a problem. I had uninstalled,
This is
but
implementation phase, right?
sorry, ma'am.
This is implementation phase, isn't it?
Oh yeah, implement.
This
Yes, ma'am.
presentation is all about implementation, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Do I
Am I
continue or?
audible?
Yeah, it's. I mean, there's a lot of disturbance actually, but.
Since this is an implementation phase, I wanted
Hmm.
to look into the code, like what and all you have implemented. You spoke
Yeah.
about testing. I want to
Yeah.
see that you have demonstrated that.
Yeah, sure. We'll be showing you the code in further, I mean, after the slides are finished. That's why we still have a lot of time left for that.
We will
Uh,
also show you the website now.
yeah. Hello. Can we go ahead? Okay. Ma'am, could you just mute yourself because there's a lot of disturbance? Yeah. Thank you. So moving on, the result discussion. Hello.
So coming to the result discussion, so what we have achieved in this project is we have built an extensive model for recommending the crop. We are taking various values like NPK, pH, soil moisture from the sensor, temperature and humidity from the sensor, and also the rainfall data. And we are recommending the crop which is best suited for that particular soil. And in fertilizer recommendation, we are recommending what the user must do to improve the quality of the soil, the fertilizer he must use. And we have also built a very user-friendly interface, which is a web application for the farmer. And it is also supported in two languages, that is in English and Kannada. And in the web application, we have also built a dashboard using which the user can see the real-time parameters of the soil. And even for the automated irrigation system, we have, and also for the web application, we have integrated the Google Assistant so that it will be easier for the farmer to use the application.
So this is the sample response of the crop API. So it does all the processing as we mentioned before. It takes the real-time data and it takes the NPK values from the user, puts it into our model and gives a recommendation. So this is the output of our project. It gives the crop name, which is displayed on the web browser, and soil moisture will be taken internally in the backend for the automatic irrigation system. Uh, and fertilizer API is also similar. We'll show you the code where you will get a clear understanding of how it works.
Yeah, when we come to the future works and status about the project, we have completed the crop and fertilizer recommendation, and we are giving the real times of our soil data to the farmer using his mobile application or web application. And we have deployed the website and integrated the Google Assistant to it. And we have done the automatic irrigation system and integrated all this API to one API, and we have deployed everything on the cloud. And now it's good to go.
Yeah, except apart, there are very minor changes in the website. Apart from that, the backend, the server, everything is done.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh, maybe further works will be if you guys, I mean, if anyone asks, if anyone gives some feedback, or if the guides and co-evaluator want any changes in our website. That's going to be the future work. That's all.
So coming to the demonstration part, what we have planned is the sender module will contain all the sensors which is kept in a box filled with the soil, and the receiver will be at the presentation spot, and it receives the data transmitted by the center, and all of the things we just discussed happens in the cloud, and finally the recommendations are shown in the website which we have already deployed.
So that was about the presentation. Let me just move on to showing you the code of our project. Okay. So this is here are the data sets that we have on which the CP data, the fertilizer data, and funnel data are what are used in the project. The rest are discarded because they weren't quite good or after significant EDA was done. So so this is the crop file prediction. I mean the preparing the crop file. As I told, we had the CP data, that's the crop data, and the fertilizer data. Uh, so both have different number of crops and everything. So we had to intersect and get a clean file where both the crops contain the same type of crops, which can further go for merging. So here are some changes that we did. So after the EDA, we had to change some discrepancies, like the file name, the crop names in different files were different, so we had to replace them and all that. Then we took the unique crops from both the CSVs and then finally merged it. And here are the output: merge file crop and fertilizer data.csv. After that, we went to the final data creation. So this is the part where our data set was curated. So we have the fertilizer data and we have the crop data. So here, if you can see, this is the plot of the N, I mean the nitrogen, and respectively for P and K. And so this is the part where we are automating, I mean, we are curating the data set. So exactly is happening here is we are, yeah.
ಏನ್ರಿ ಇದು ಹಿಂಗೇನ್ರಿ ಕೋಡ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ಲೈನ್ ಮಾಡೋದು? ನಾವು ಲ್ಯಾಬ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಹಿಂಗೆ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ಲೈನ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಒಪ್ಕೋತಾ ಇದ್ರಾ?
You want line by line explanation, ma'am? If you want, I can give
ಲೈನ್
you
ಬೈ
the
ಲೈನ್
line by
ಅಲ್ಲ,
line.
ವಿ ಡೋಂಟ್ ವಾಂಟ್ ಓವರ್ ವ್ಯೂ. ನೀವ್ ಹೆಂಗ್ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀರಾ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಕನ್ಕ್ಲೂಷನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇಷ್ಟಿಷ್ಟಿದೆ ಇಷ್ಟೇ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಿರಲ್ಲ, ಆ ತರ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ಲನೇಷನ್ ಬರ್ತಾ ಇದೆ.
Okay.
ಐ ಥಿಂಕ್ ನೀವ್ ಇನ್ನೊಂದ್ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಅಡಿಷನ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ಲೈನ್ ಮಾಡಿ.
Okay, sure, I can do that
ಲೈನ್
as
ಬೈ
well,
ಲೈನ್
no problem, ma'am.
ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ಲನೇಷನ್ ಯಾರು ಕೇಳಲ್ಲ ಕಣಪ್ಪ. ಅಟ್ ಲೀಸ್ಟ್ ಅದು ನೀವು ಹೇಗೆ ಹೇಳ್ತೀರಾ, 10 ಲೈನ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಳ್ಬಿಟ್ರೆ ಸಾಕಾ ನಿಮ್ ಕೋಡಿಂಗ್ ನ?
Okay, I can go in depth as you requested, ma'am. That's not of a problem at all. Do you want me to start with the first file or shall I continue? Hello?
It was not at all a request, Nitin. It was just a question triggered by a faculty, as you say.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Who are the other members? Ponnanna, Shikshankar?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Shikshankar, can you explain me about the IoT sensor module, like
Yeah, sure.
when it comes to the implementation phase?
Sure. Nitin, can you move on to that architecture?
Architecture? Yeah.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, thank
No,
you.
no. Not about the architecture.
Like
how you
it's
have implemented that? Yeah, that one.
Yeah, basically I'm going to tell
Obviously, you would have written some
Nitin,
code
you
for
could
this.
open the GitHub of Shiv Shankar. There's the code there.
Yeah, sure, I can do
can
that as
send
well.
you a link, Nitin. Yeah, Nitin, like open the repos, IoT code, and go for first one, sender, new sender final year project. Yep. Yes, ma'am. Basically, this code is about the reading the sensor values from the sorry, excuse me, give me a second, 1 second. Okay. Basically, this program, what it does, it's read the sensor values. The microcontroller, I'm using Arduino Uno as a microcontroller. It will read the sensor values, and it will be converting to the JSON. Okay, Nitin, can you scroll down a bit? In this first one that include, Nitin, can you pass on this permission? Like I can use the system like that.
ಶಿವಶಂಕರ್,
Ma'am, yeah, ma'am.
ಅದು ಎಲ್ಲಿದೆ ಅದು ಬಿಟ್ನಾ ಪ್ರೀವಿಯಸ್ ಒನ್ ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಅದು ಸ್ಲೈಡ್ ತೋರಿಸಿ ಅದು ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮ್
ಆರ್ಕಿಟೆಕ್ಟ್
ಆರ್ಕಿಟೆಕ್ಚರ್ ಅಲ್ಲಪ್ಪ ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮ್
program.
Are you
Nitin,
using any gas sensor over there?
Nitin, I will share
Yeah,
my
yeah.
screen. Stop sharing your screen.
Yeah, sure. Just a sec. Yeah.
Okay, give me a second.
Are you using any gas sensor over there in the IoT sensor
Yes, ma'am.
module?
Yes, ma'am. MQ135. Ask organizer to Nitin. You should
Go
permit me
that
to the.
Okay, book.
Nitin, give him permission to share the screen.
Yeah. Okay, this is new, so let me just check. Just a sec.
You
I
need to
think
make him
I
the
can
presenter.
share. Okay, let me
Nitin.
just make him the host. That will be better. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Shivshankar, I think you can share now.
Yeah, got it. Is that visible now, ma'am?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's visible.
Okay, give me a second. Okay.
ಅಲ್ಲಿ
This is like this.
ಗ್ಯಾಸ್ ಎಲ್ಪಿಜಿ ಗ್ಯಾಸ್ ಸಿಒ ಗ್ಯಾಸ್ ಸ್ಮೋಕ್ ಡಿಫೈನ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದೀರಲ್ಲ ಏನಕ್ಕೆ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀರಾ ಅದನ್ನ
Ma'am, basically like what does e-sensor like features is like you can actually extract the smoke. LPG is nothing but a methane and smoke ಮತ್ತೆ methane ಈ sensor extract ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳುತ್ತೆ CO ಮತ್ತೆ ಈ ಮೂರುನು like ಅದಕ್ಕೆ like MQ135 ಗೆ like the what the manufacturers they gave a driver. Basically this is the actual driver they gave to extract the this one was that 3 levels of methane and other stuff. ಸೊ ಈ ಡ್ರೈವರ್ ನಾನು ಮೆನ್ಷನ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಇದರಿಂದ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ರಾಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡೋಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ ಲೈಕ್ ಈ 3 ವೇರಿಯಬಲ್ ನ ಡಿಕ್ಲೇರ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದೆ ಮ್ಯಾಮ್ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಆಸ್ ಎ ಗ್ಲೋಬಲ್ ವೇರಿಯಬಲ್.
So you have written the same set of code for all the sensors?
ಎಸ್ ಮ್ಯಾಮ್ ಲೈಕ್ ಪರ್ಟಿಕ್ಯುಲರ್ ಸೆನ್ಸರ್ಗೆ ಕೆಲವೊಂದು ಡ್ರೈವರ್ಸ್ ಇದೆ. ಅವರು ಲೈಕ್ ದ ಒನ್ ಹೂ ಇಸ್ ಮ್ಯಾನುಫ್ಯಾಕ್ಚರಿಂಗ್ ದ ಸೆನ್ಸರ್ ದೇ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಗಿವ್ ದ ಡ್ರೈವರ್ಸ್ ಸೊ ದಟ್ ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಯೂಸ್ ದಿಸ್ ಸ್ಟಫ್. ಸೊ ಐ ರೆಫರ್ಡ್ ದೋಸ್ ಸ್ಟಫ್ ಅಂಡ್ I included this. This is basically for temperature and this is for LoRa and this is for SPI for a protocol which the LoRa need to be communicating protocols basically, and this is for LCD display. That's all. This is the declaration of the which module I'm using here. So ಈ ಡ್ರೈವರ್ಸ್ ನಾವು ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಿಕೊಂಡು ನೀವು CO ಸ್ಮೋಕ್ ಮತ್ತೆ ಆಲ್ಕೋಹಾಲ್ ಮೀಥೇನ್ ನೀವು ಡಿಟೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು ಅಂತ ಲೈಕ್ ಅವರೇ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರು ಮ್ಯಾಮ್. So our website idರಲ್ಲಿ not in website like I read in some article and they gave this stuff actually so that it will take the ratio of it like it's going to calculate something from the signal, it's going to convert the signal and going to some other stuff and it's going to give me those values.
Okay.
Help. Yes ma'am. First step is like initialization. When the module start, you will start calibrating it. In this calibration, basically what it does, it will be calibrating all the gas values. So
Is this the main program, Shiv Shankar?
ma'am.
Is this the main program?
Yes ma'am.
So here you have called the functions, isn't it? Sensor functions and all, everything is being called from here.
Yes ma'am. This is actually a main program which has been uploaded to the transmitter or to read the sensor values.
Which programming language you have used? JavaScript?
No, this is embedded C.
Embedded C.
Or else you can call it as Arduino C.
No, I know.
This step is basically for initialization of all the sensor modules and what are the modules I'm using here. This is the initialization step.
Okay, for the IoT part, you have used embedded C, isn't it?
Yes, ma'am.
For the machine learning part, how you have implemented?
For machine learning
That
part,
naive Bayes. algorithm and all?
Yeah,
Python,
I
ma'am.
can.
It's completely
Hmm?
Python,
It,
ma'am,
it,
for machine learning.
You have used Python. And you guys also mentioned in the previous milestones, like you're going to develop an application,
Yes, ma'am.
right?
yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
The web application
We
for
have
the farmers.
already deployed it.
We have also deployed it also, ma'am. We can send you the IP address. You can check our
Actually, I've
website.
already shared here, like access to you, ma'am. Actually, I shared a link for you regarding this.
Yeah, I saw that. So how you have implemented that one,
Yes, ma'am.
Website, ma'am.
that application? Yeah.
Shankar,
Yes,
you
ma'am.
can
It's
open
already
it.
up and running. I can show you.
Is it an Android application or it is an web app? Is it an web app?
It's a web application.
Currently, it's a web
That
app,
is
ma'am. I'm working on this Android application. By last of presentation, like by next milestone, I can show you the Android app. Currently working on that.
it is
I don't know
So
that.
you
currently the
guys
web
are
application,
in
ma'am.
a point like where that application will work in both the ways, like as a web app or as an Android application also.
No, Android application is different,
Is
and
it
web
like
It's
application.
that?
completely different, ma'am. It's completely different.
Okay,
Android
two
application is
different applications you are going to develop,
yes, ma'am.
We were sure about the web
but you can
application.
develop.
Android, we have kept it as a hold
Android is
until
like
we
under
take care
development,
of
ma'am.
the
Like I'm
IoT.
personally and my
Yeah.
own interest working on that
My
one.
suggestion is like if you are going to develop an web application, think in such a way like whatever the application you develop, it should work in both the ways, like as a web application and also as an Android application. Otherwise, you
Ma'am,
just develop one single application, whether it is a web app or an Android application.
ma'am,
Okay.
since it is
Okay, we
responsive,
can
it can be viewed in any of the devices, ma'am. So
Yes,
it's
ma'am.
almost like a
Android
even the
itself.
like water
utility. You
certification
can
we
see
have
it in the
developed.
mobile phones also.
It is highly responsible, ma'am.
Your voice is
Responsible.
not clear. Any
Sorry.
one can speak.
Okay, okay.
The web
Like
application
currently,
is
what the
high. Yeah, Shiv Shankar.
okay, what the web application we have developed now? It's completely responsive. You can view in your mobile. It something. It looks like your Android app itself, ma'am. But it's an web app basically.
No, it's
It's in
not like
response.
that. Web application is different and Android application
Android
is
application.
different. That's what I'm
Got it.
telling. If you are going to develop an application, what my
Hmm.
suggestion is think in such a way that that particular application should work in both the ways, like as an Android also, as an web app also. If you
Sure,
can't
ma'am.
develop
We
an
can try
application like
running.
that, then you just develop a simple Android application. That's it.
We can try
Or
running
web
the client
application.
in
That's
the
it.
shell, ma'am. So it will be an Android application.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Have you have developed that already?
Not yet,
No,
ma'am.
ma'am.
No,
We
ma'am.
have
It is
not
Currently,
not yet
planned for
developed.
Android application. Since we made it responsive, it is like it can be viewed even in the web browser also, in the phone also, ma'am. So we didn't think of any Android applications
Yeah,
as of
that's
now.
what I'm telling.
Yes, ma'am.
It's a good idea. Like if it works in both the ways, try like that
Okay, ma'am. We'll
as a
see. I'll
web
look
app
into that.
Okay,
and
ma'am.
all,
We
or
will.
also as an application. If you
sure, sure.
can't do that, it's okay. Like as an Android application, it is okay.
Yes,
Okay.
ma'am. We'll look into it,
Okay.
ma'am.
Okay, ma'am. We will look into it.
ಟೆಸ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ಕೇಳಿ ಟೆಸ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ಹೇಗೆ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ
Yeah. Now,
ಟೆಸ್ಟ್ ಕೇಸಸ್
1 sec. Is there any backend for this?
For which one, ma'am?
Database is there for this?
Currently, we are using a
Yes, ma'am.
ThinkSpeak as a database. Like, it's one of the service they are providing in for IoT. If you go for, let me thing login. The broadband is slow. So if you look at here, hello.
It's
Hello.
visible.
Yeah, yes, ma'am.
Yeah, continue.
If you look at here, this is the sensor values which has been transmitted from the receiver node to this cloud. From this, we are accessing to the our website. We are storing all the values here. So
Have
we
you
can.
got this? Have you got this, Shiv Shankar?
Which one, ma'am? Like this website?
These things, yeah.
This is actually an open source website. Basically, anyone can access it. You
No,
need to just.
not this website. You told you are going to receive all these sensor values from sensor and
Yeah,
it will be
like they have
moved to
provided.
cloud, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
for that purpose, you are using this website, or
Yes,
only for the
yes.
showing purpose you are explaining?
No, we are transmitting everything to here. Basically, this is our like something like website or it will be storing all
Yeah.
our sensor.
Basically, you're using that particular website in your project, isn't it?
Yes, ma'am. We are not showing
Ma'am,
this one. We are storing
ma'am,
the
no, ma'am.
value.
Like, yeah,
That's
Shiv
what.
Shankar.
Yeah,
Yeah,
tell
Ma'am,
tell
we
me,
are
me, ma'am.
just
Swati.
storing ma'am, we are just storing all the sensor values in this website. Like, we don't have an extensive database for this. We store it here, and the newest value will be given to the machine learning model. Like, the newest sensor value will be given to the machine learning model, actually.
So no SQL concept here.
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am, we are
Traditional
not using
database is not being used here. What is that
No, ma'am.
website? Can you go?
Things
a
speak.
thing speak, ma'am.
THINGS. Things speak.
ThinkSpeak.
Basically, like
Okay,
this.
that
Like
website is considered as a database here.
yes,
You
ma'am.
can easily retrieve, update, and delete
Everything.
whatever the CRUD operations you are doing in the SQL. You can do it here.
Yes, ma'am, we
Currently,
can do everything there.
it's
Hmm?
basically like a storage. Let's say it's something like a container, like a bucket. It will be keep on storing it. This is the main concept of this website.
Can you perform the CRUD operations? Database is
Uh,
not something like
exactly.
it will be used for only storing purpose, right?
Yeah, this is like a bucket. Yeah, storing purpose basically. Like I can insert it, but I can't delete. If I delete all the other data, what I have completely stored, it will be empty.
This is what I asked. Can you perform the CRUD operations over here?
Yeah,
So
that's
if
what,
you
ma'am.
delete, everything will get deleted.
Yeah, that's why I told you it's like a bucket concept. Like
How this going to work then?
basically, like we
Say
don't have
some
any access
100
to.
users are there. 100 users are
Harm.
there. Okay. Somebody wants to, as I told, insert
Ma'am,
operation.
we
Okay.
are
Somebody
using
will be
as
doing
of
read
now.
operation. Somebody will doing update operation. How this is going to work
Ma'am, as of
there in
now,
this?
just for prototype, we are using this website, ma'am. Else we can use Firebase or Amazon Web Services.
Like for what
When
the
it
thought we
comes
have when we
to
are
deployment,
doing this project, we thought of like discovering, learning new concept and new technologies. So we thought of using different
ಆಸ್
different.
ಆಫ್ ನೌ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀರಲ್ಲ, ಯಾವಾಗ ಕಂಪ್ಲೀಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಾ ನೀವು ಪ್ರಾಜೆಕ್ಟ್ ನ?
Ma'am,
it's
actually,
already
like
ಆಕ್ಚುಲ್
completed.
ಆಗಿ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ 31st is the last working day, right? So
yes,
before
ma'am.
that
It's already
you have
completed,
to
ma'am.
complete the project ಅಂತ ಇದಿದೆ. ಎಲ್ಲಾ ಮೈಲ್ ಸ್ಟೋನ್ ಕಂಪ್ಲೀಟ್ ಆಗಿ, ಪ್ರಾಜೆಕ್ಟ್ ಕಂಪ್ಲೀಟ್
Like this
ಆಗಿ
is what we
ಹೋಲ್
are complete.
ಮಾಡೆಲ್ ನ ನೀವು ನಮ್ಗೆ ಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕಿತ್ತಲ್ವಾ?
It's already
This is what
Everything
we are
completed.
doing.
is working.
Ma'am,
Yeah.
everything is working, ma'am.
If you go to your website, you can see everything.
Then why you guys told like still the application is not yet developed?
Which
No,
are,
ma'am.
ma'am?
Ma'am, we
You
meant
asked,
the
ma'am. You
The
asked
Android.
clarity
about.
ಸಿಗ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ. See, till now, like whatever the presentations you have given to me or Sindhu ma'am or Nandkumar sir, you were so sure and you were having the clarity like this we are going to do and this will be completed in this particular duration. Like that you were. And now in the final part, I'm not seeing that clarity.
Like
Whatever
Like in
you
the
have
sense, what
decided to do,
clarifications do you want?
there I saw the clarity. But now when you are done with your project, I'm not able to see that. This is what I'm
Hello.
feeling.
Hello.
Yes, yes, Purnima,
Like
tell me.
what clarifications do you want? Like regarding what?
Clarifications, I didn't get a proper answers from so many questions. Like when it comes to this Android application, you told it's not developed.
Ma'am,
Like
Android application
Then I asked about the automation part, JMeter. You told you have used JMeter tool. I didn't get any thing from that. You have done the coding, agree, but still so many things are there. Or if anything is there to tell, you can tell me. Like if things are missed out
No,
to
I
tell
don't
or to
think
demonstrate.
anything. I no, ma'am. I don't think. I
coming
think
to
as
the
far as we are
Android
concerned, the
application.
project is actually completed. The Android application part, as Anana was telling, that's like an interface. But we are not focusing much on that. It's like just like an added advantage. We have focused completely on the website. The website is ready. The real-time data are coming in. The backends are integrated. The servers are up and running. We have hosted the website. The training, everything has been done. We see everything in place, ma'am. If you have any additional doubt, we are happy to clear that.
If this is the case, then you don't have talked about Android application at all, Alva. You would have stressed more on it, like the website part. If you're telling something, application, web app, something, ಎಲ್ಲ
ಲಿಂಕ್ ಇಲ್ಲ
ಆಗಿರ್ಬೇಕು
ಲಿಂಕ್
ಅಲ್ವಾ?
ಇಲ್ಲ ಯಾವ್ದಕ್ಕೂ ಎಲ್ಲ ಸಪ್ರೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡಿದೀರಾ, ಯಾವಾಗ ಲಿಂಕ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಾ ಎಲ್ಲಾನು?
You
ಇಂಟಿಗ್ರೇಷನ್ ನಿಮಗೆ ಯಾವ್ದೇ ಒಂದು ಮಾಡೆಲ್ ನ ಮಾಡೋದು ಅಷ್ಟು ಏನು ಡಿಫಿಕಲ್ಟ್ ಅನ್ಸಲ್ಲ. ಸಣ್ಣ ಮಾಡ್ಯೂಲ್ಸ್ ನ ಮಾಡ್ಬಿಡ್ತೀರಾ, ಬಟ್ ಇಂಟಿಗ್ರೇಟ್ ಮಾಡೋದು ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ವೆರಿ ಡಿಫಿಕಲ್ಟ್. ಇಟ್ ಟೇಕ್ಸ್ ಮೋರ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಮೋರ್ ಟೈಮ್. ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ
ma'am,
ನೀವು ಇಂಟಿಗ್ರೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಅದು ಟೆಸ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು,
could
ಅದಲ್ವಾ?
you please
ಅದ್ರಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾದ್ರು ಸ್ಮಾಲ್ ಚೇಂಜಸ್ ಇದ್ರುನು ಫ್ರಮ್ ಸ್ಕ್ರಾಚ್ ಇಂದ ಅದನ್ನ ನೀವು ನೋಡ್ಕೊಂಡ್ ಬರ್ತೀರಾ. ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ನಾಟ್ ಸೋ ಈಸಿ ಇಂಟಿಗ್ರೇಷನ್ ಪಾರ್ಟ್.
we are telling, right, the integration is done. If you forget about the Android application, the website is ready, everything is done. And moreover, Android application, andre, we were not building any Android application from the scratch. It is just an API or app package that is given by the sensor network. Shivashankar, could you explain them on that?
yeah, yes, sure, Nitin. Ma'am, we are using, like, we thought of using
Can
a
you
Blink
share that link, website link in the
I
group?
can share. Ma'am, wait, I will share you this one, like what the layout, how it looks like in the WhatsApp group. Let me
Can you share the link? ನನಗೆ
Link
ಇಲ್ಲಿ
of
ಬೇಡ, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಸ್ಕ್ರೀನ್
okay.
ಶೇರ್ ಬೇಡ ನನಗೆ. ಗ್ರೂಪ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನೀವು ಆ ಲಿಂಕ್ ನ ಶೇರ್ ಮಾಡಿ, ನಾವು ಅದನ್ನ
ಯಾವ್ದು
ನೋಡ್ತೀವಿ, ಆಯ್ತಾ?
website
ವೆಬ್ಸೈಟ್
for
ಲಿಂಕ್.
sure.
ವೆಬ್ಸೈಟ್ ಲಿಂಕ್.
Okay, I have shared your link, ma'am,
ಎಲ್ಲಿದೆ?
in the group. The username is test@test.com and the password is test123. Even you can create a user here.
Shivashankar, why don't you turn off your screen sharing?
Yeah, sure. Oh, sorry.
I think there was a miscommunication. We are not building an Android app, ma'am. It is just an the screenshot that you saw in the group
Yeah.
is
Wait.
But in the previous milestones, in the previous presentation, it was clear, like you're going to build that, isn't it? I think
we were
Ponnana told
we,
that.
Even
we were
You
very
guys have
clear on
divided
building the
your work,
website,
if
ma'am.
I remember. Swati is
Yeah.
going to do something, Shiv Shankar is going to do the IoT
Yes,
part,
ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
and whatever the application is there, that will be developed by Ponnana. Like that, you guys have divided. I still remember that, isn't it?
I
See,
don't
Ma'am,
if
but
you
recall
are
it
there
not
being
going
wasn't
to
any
build
divided.
that,
discussion on the
agree.
Android part, ma'am.
Okay, if you're running out of time or if you don't want to build it, it's okay. But you have to be clear about it. That's it. Whether you're going to build it or not, only the website part.
We never told we'll be building an Android app, ma'am. The Android
Honestly,
app that we were talking about
No, you
was
people told.
only
no. Actually, we told we want to use the app that is already available. We going to integrate that app to our project, basically.
No, I didn't get the information like that in the previous
Mm.
presentation. Okay, you
It will not.
demonstrate the website now.
Yep, sure.
How
Nitin,
you have
can you-
designed it, how it works. Let's see.
Yes, ma'am.
Shivshankar, I think you must be sharing the screen. Ma'am, do you want the code or the demonstration of the website?
I think
Show
she
me
asked
the
for the
demonstration of
demonstration of the
website.
Yeah, Shivshankar.
There is no application and all now. Only website is there, right? Till now, whatever you
Yes.
have done is you have developed the website, right?
Yes.
Let me see that.
Yes.
Sindhu ma'am is also here.
Sure, sure.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, let me go from the scratch.
Go to the home page, Shivshankar. Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, you could see this is a landing page of our website, and we have integrated like two languages, Kannada and English. You can see now it's changed. So let me go back. And if you click here, you can either sign up if you have the ID, or you can just if you already have the ID, you can log in, or else you can sign up here. Okay, and
If new user comes,
you can sign using the sign up.
You,
Okay,
if new user come, you can sign up, ma'am.
let's
go with the
say,
new user.
okay, let me name it as Shiva. Email ID is like shiva@gmail.com. Password some 8-digit characters like 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8. Once the sign up is complete now.
Already this user account is created, Shiv Shankar, or is this
No,
a
I
new
just
user?
no, I just now I created now.
You just created.
Yes, ma'am. Shiva@gmail.com. And if I put the password here, now the authentication has been like completed. And one more thing, like for authentication, we are using a Google Firebase. So we need not to be very completely focused on the authentication or those purpose that will be served by the Google Firebase, ma'am. Google Firebase
So
authentication.
you guys are not concentrating on the security part.
I will show you this one. 1 second. Okay, it's not the project. Which is
What
the project?
happened?
No, I'm searching for like I have deployed 3 projects. I need searching for the right project.
Delete the old ones, otherwise you will get confused.
That is my other personal projects, ma'am, basically. Give me a second, ma'am. Okay, here it is. Sorry. If you go for authentication, see like shiva@gmail.com I just created, and these are the users.
Who can access this page, this authentication page?
Only the admin or who have like me or someone who know this stuff. The one who has this email ID.
Okay. Go to that main web page. Continue.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, new people, new user came, he signed up, done.
Then you're going to land into this page. Basically, when we
The
deployed our
dashboard, ma'am.
sensor, the dashboard. Yes, what you can do.
No, yeah, you can go ahead.
Okay, fine. Where the real-time data will be showing here, basically, and we have given the option here to like we have made it one extra thing like automatic irrigation system, where if this thing is turned on, the user need not to be worried, like whether he can the automatically the irrigation system will get turned on based on the moisture content the plant needed. Let's say the mango plant needs something like this much percentage of water should be a minimum. It will going to check, it going to calculate it, and then it will going to turn on the motor pump and off. If this thing is turned off, the user is manually need to turn on the motor and turn off the motor, like in the application what I'm trying to share,
Okay.
mobile application.
These are the 6 sensor values, ma'am.
Methane for the gas purpose,
Yeah,
then
methane, CO, and CO2 are
carbon
the
monoxide, right? CO.
Yes, ma'am.
yes ma'am,
Yes, ma'am.
for the smoke detection and this one.
Next to the Kogat.
Sorry.
Okay, now anyway you're demonstrating your website, right? Can you relate your problem statement with this? Like what was your main objective and how you are going to achieve it?
Okay.
Whatever the
Shankar,
objectives you
Yes,
said
ma'am.
Our
previously
show
through
the
this
Go to the
website.
crop
Can you
recommendation sheet.
justify? Can you justify?
yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
So one objective was to give real-time data of the soil to the farmer, which as you can see is being displayed on the screen. Now that the sensors are
Okay.
not connected, the other gas sensors are zero, but rest is all already fed. So it is real time. It keeps refreshing, and so if there is any change in the soil, we can see that here. And Shiv Shankar, could you scroll down?
huh.
This is
The
the
next.
automatic irrigation system that we gave. So sometimes farmer might want to control the automatic irrigation himself because he of course knows more than the system. So he can turn on or off the automatic irrigation system. If he clicks on, then we in the backend automatically see if the soil moisture is less or no, and accordingly release the water. If it's off, that system is at a pause, and they can the farmer can control the water supply. Should we go to the crop, please?
Yeah.
Yeah, so we
Hey,
told we will be
one second.
recommending the, yeah.
ಆ ಶಿವಶಂಕರ್ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದು ಆಟೋಮ್ಯಾಟಿಕ್ ಆಗಿ ಮೋಟರ್ ಆನ್ ಆಫ್ ಆಗಲ್ಲ
ಆಗಲ್ಲ.
ಅಂತ
When
ಆಯ್ತಾ?
it is turned off.
ಆದ್ರೆ
When
ನೀವು
it is
ನಿತಿನ್ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀರಾ ಇದು ಆಟೋಮ್ಯಾಟಿಕ್ ಆಗಿ ಆಗತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ.
yes, when it
Ma'am,
is turned
What
off,
does this?
it's going to work
Ma'am.
like that. When it is turned off, it doesn't work.
ma'am, ಈಗ see, we have the automatic irrigation system in place. So this button, if it is off, then the system that we have placed, the automatic irrigation system that our model will control is off. That means user can manually on or off the motor. But if this is turned on, then the user need not do anything.
Automatically, it will
It will
occur.
automatically the soil moisture. It will check the soil moisture and accordingly release the water. I hope it was clear, ma'am. So this automatic irrigation system on
Continue.
or off is just for manual or non-manual. That's all.
Okay.
So the crop part, as we told, we will be recommending the crop required for that particular soil. So as you can see on the screen, the NPK values and the pH values are given respectively, and the suggested crop is the jute. And we have also given option to update the NPK values over a period of time, which changes after 6 months or something. Could you go to the fertilizer recommendation, Shiv Shankar?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, so here is how he needs to take care of his soil. So this is being served from the back end. And these are so according to his soil conditions, the NPK values and the crop that we have recommended, and the recommended NPK values for the crop is based on what these recommendations are given. So these are manual stuff which the farmer has to do. This is just a recommendation for them. So as we can see, we have achieved all the 4 objectives that we mentioned: giving the real-time data of the soil, automatic irrigation system, with crop recommendation, fertilizer recommendation. Shiv Shankar, if the system is on, could you show them the
No,
Google Assistant as well?
for Google Assistant, right? Okay, let me. Okay, I'll use my phone itself. You can
Yeah.
see here telling the jute, the recommended crop. Okay, 1 second. Okay, Google. Let's talk to Harvestify.
Let's get the test version of Harvestify.
Yeah, can you just give other crop? Can you just give paddy?
One second.
That depends on the NPK
Data.
values we are mentioning.
What is the crop recommended?
No, like new user can log in and he can just give the crop name, right? Then your whatever you
Not
have
the crop
developed, the
name.
project will give you like
Ma'am,
No,
he
no.
will not give the
what
crop.
is he
It
supposed to
will
give?
not give the crop. We are supposed to enter the NPK and pH values, and the machine learning model will give us the output which crop is
So
suitable
your
for
Crop
that
should be
project is
plant.
going to
planted.
give the crop.
Yeah,
Yes,
yes,
ma'am.
ma'am. Yeah.
This jute is the recommended crop
We
which
are
we
going
are
to give
growing.
the values.
Yeah.
One sec. We are going to give the values and you are going to give the crop back.
Crop,
Yeah. Yes. Yes.
ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
NPK pH values of the soil. We will give
ಮ್ಯಾನ್ಯಲಿ
that.
ಪಿ ಎಚ್ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ಕೊಡ್ಬೇಕಾ? ಮ್ಯಾನ್ಯಲಿ ಕೊಡ್ಬೇಕೇನ್ರಿ ಪಿ ಎಚ್ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂನ? ಪಿ ಎಚ್ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ಮ್ಯಾನ್ಯಲಿ
Like
ಕೊಡ್ತೀರಾ? ಎನ್ ಪಿ ಕೆ
There are
ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ
no
ಮ್ಯಾನ್ಯಲಿ
sensors
ಕೊಡ್ತೀರಾ? ಇನ್ಸೆಟ್
no.
ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕಾ
Yes,
ಯೂಸರ್?
NPK
ma'am.
manual ಆಗಿ ಕೊಡ್ಬೇಕು ಮ್ಯಾಮ್, because that is done via lab testing and there are no sensors to get the NPK values of the soil. So government ಏನ್ ಮಾಡತ್ತೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ it recommends the farmers to get their soil tested every 6 months or something. Give it to the center where they perform the test and they give the NPK values. So here we cannot automate that using sensors, and hence we are requiring that from the farmer.
ಅಷ್ಟು ಸೆನ್ಸರ್ಸ್ ಏನಕ್ಕೆ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀರಾ? CO ಸೆನ್ಸಾರ್ಸ್, LPG ಸೆನ್ಸಾರ್ಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಏನಕ್ಕೆ ನೆಸೆಸಿಟಿ ಇದೆ ಅದು
Yeah, gas
ಹಾಗಿದ್ರೆ?
sensor.
ಗ್ಯಾಸ್ ಸೆನ್ಸರ್ ಲೈಕ್ ಫೀಲ್ಡ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಈಗ ಸ್ಮೋಕ್ ಡಿಟೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಯ್ತು, ಅವ್ರ ಪಕ್ಕದ ಫೀಲ್ಡ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಫೈರ್ ಡಿಟೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಫೈರ್ ಬಂತು, ಸೊ ಅದನ್ನ ಡಿಟೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಯೂಸರ್ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂಸ್ ನ ತೋರ್ಸಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ ಅದನ್ನ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ವಿ ಮ್ಯಾಮ್. ಲೈಕ್ ಇಫ್ ದೇರ್ ಚಾನ್ಸಸ್ ಲೈಕ್ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್, ಸೊ
ಅದಕ್ಕೂ ಇದಕ್ಕೂ ಹೇಗ್ರಿ ಕನೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗತ್ತೆ? ದಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಡಿಫರೆಂಟ್ ಪ್ರಾಜೆಕ್ಟ್ ಅಲ್ವಾ?
ಲೈಕ್ ವಿ ಆರ್ ಕಂಪ್ಲೀಟ್ಲಿ ಲೈಕ್
How can it be?
Is this necessary for your project? ಫಾಗ್ ಡಿಟೆಕ್ಷನ್ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಪ್ರಾಜೆಕ್ಟ್ ಗೆ ನೆಸೆಸಿಟಿ ಇದೆಯಾ?
fog like soil
There is
moisture is
no
the
Let's be so clear in this. Listen to me. As you guys told, user will be going to give back.
Sorry.
You're
Hello?
muted, ma'am.
Give.
Hello.
Am I audible now?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now listen now. As you told, your project is going to give the crop and user is going to give the values. Alva? If the user is going to give the values, then what is the use of sensors? Previously, we thought you people are using the sensors, you're getting the data from those sensors.
Yes,
Based
ma'am.
on
Yes,
that, something is
yes,
being done here.
Yes, that's what happened. Shivu, go to the real-time dashboard.
Yeah.
So of this, ma'am, soil moisture, temperature, humidity is what we are taking from the sensors to give the crop recommendation. We are taking use of the sensor values here in addition to what the user is giving. So we
as a normal user or as a normal farmer, NPK values ishte irbeku anta hege gotirutte?
Ma'am,
Again, he has to go for the lab, he has to perform the testing, he has to get the values, then he should give those values here. Alva?
Yes, ma'am. That is made mandatory by the government to get the soil tested every once and then.
Every 6 months.
So he
So
definitely
you
goes
should
through.
mention this point in the beginning. Illandre ishtu confusion agutte. Like how the user will get those values anta. Okay.
Okay, sure, ma'am.
Okay.
We're going to add that in our next thing.
Okay, user he will get the soil tested. He'll get to know the values and then he will give all those values in your
he will just
recommendation
give the NPK
website.
values.
He will just give the NPK and pH values, ma'am.
ನಿತಿನ್
Yes,
ನಿಮಗೆ ಈ ಕ್ವೆಶ್ಚನ್ ಆಯ್ತಾ? ನೀವ್ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರಲ್ಲ ಗವರ್ನಮೆಂಟ್ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡತ್ತೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಬರತ್ತೆ ಸಾಯಿಲ್ ಟೆಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಎವ್ರಿ 6 months ಸಾಯಿಲ್ ಟೆಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಡತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ.
ಹೌದು ಮ್ಯಾಮ್.
ಹೌದಾ? ಹಾ. ಅವರೇನೆ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಯಾವ ಕ್ರಾಪ್ ಹಾಕ್ಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರಾ ಹೇಳಲ್ವಾ?
Of course, they might, ma'am, because they are going to help the farmers.
Of course. Pardon? ಏನ್ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರಿ?
I think I'm not knowledgeable enough to answer that question. Sorry.
ಆಕ್ಚುಲಿ ನೀವೇನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀರಾ ನಾನೇ ಹೇಳ್ತೀನಿ ಕೇಳ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. ನನ್ನ ಹತ್ರನು ಲ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಇದೆ, ಎಲ್ಲಾ ಕ್ರಾಪ್ ನಾವು ಹಾಕ್ತಿವಿ. ನಮಗೆ ಬರ್ತಾರೆ ಗವರ್ನಮೆಂಟ್ ಅವರು ಟೆಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಈ ರೋಡ್ ಗೊತ್ತಿದೆ ಅಲ್ವಾ? ಕೇಳಿದೀರಾ ಪ್ಲೇಸ್? ಸೇಸೋನು
ಯಾವ ರೋಡ್ ಮ್ಯಾಮ್?
ಯಾವ ರೋಡ್?
ಈ ರೋಡ್ ಅಂತ ಕೇಳಿದೀರಾ? ಪ್ಲೇಸ್ ನೇಮ್?
ನೋ ಮ್ಯಾಮ್.
ಈ ರೋಡ್ ಆಯ್ತಾ? ಸರ್ಚ್ ಮಾಡಿ. ಅಲ್ಲಿಂದ ನಾವು ನಮ್ಮೂರಿಗೆ ಕರ್ಸ್ತೀವಿ. ಅವ್ರು ಇಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಸಾಯಿಲ್ ನ ತಗೊಂಡ್ ಹೋಗ್ತಾರೆ, ಟೆಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ನೀವು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಏನು ಹ್ಯೂಮಿಡಿಟಿ ಏನಿದೆ, ಟೆಂಪರೇಚರ್ ಏನಿದೆ, ಸಾಯಿಲ್ ಮಾಯಿಶ್ಚರ್ ಏನಿದೆ ಎಲ್ಲ ಟೆಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ ನೀವು ಇದನ್ನೇ ಕ್ರಾಪ್ ಹಾಕಿ ಇಷ್ಟ ಈಲ್ಡ್ ಬರುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ ಅವರೇ ಇನ್ಫಾರ್ಮೇಶನ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟು ವಿತ್ ರಿಪೋರ್ಟ್ ನನಗೆ ತಂದ್ಕೊಡ್ತಾರೆ ಎವ್ರಿ ಇಯರ್. ನೀವೀಗ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡಿದೀರಾ ಇದ್ರಲ್ಲೇ ಹಾಫ್ ಅಷ್ಟೇನೆ, ಫುಲ್ ಗವರ್ನಮೆಂಟೇ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದೆ ಅಲ್ವಾ?
See, what I previously thought was, ನೀವು ಸೆನ್ಸರ್ಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿರೋದು ನೋಡಿ, ಓಕೆ ನೀವೇ ಸೆನ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿರೋ ಡೇಟಾ ಇಂದ ಯು ಆರ್ ಡೂಯಿಂಗ್ ದ ಪ್ರಿಡಿಕ್ಷನ್ ಅಂತ.
ನಾನು ಅದೇ ಅನ್ಕೊಂಡೆ. ನಾನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀರಾ, ನೀವ್ ಮಾಡಿಲ್ಲ ವರ್ಕ್ ಅಂತ ನಾವು ಯಾವಾಗೂ ಹೇಳಿಲ್ಲಪ್ಪ. ಯು ಆರ್ ಗುಡ್.
That's why you got the good marks as well.
ಹೌದು.
ಓಕೆ,
ಬಟ್ ಫೈನಲ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಫೇಲ್ಯೂರ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀರಾ. ಬೆಟರ್ ಆಗಿ ವರ್ಕ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಇನ್ನೂನು ಅಂತ ಅಷ್ಟೇ. ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಲಾಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಟೈಮ್, ಇನ್ನೂನು 2 weeks 3 weeks ಟೈಮ್ ಇದೆ. ಫೈನಲ್ ಕನ್ಕ್ಲೂಷನ್ ಮತ್ತೆ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಹತ್ರನೇ ಆಂಬಿಗಿಟಿ ಇದೆ.
ಹೌದು,
ಯಾವಾಗೂ ಪ್ರಾಜೆಕ್ಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಆಂಬಿಗಿಟಿ ಇದ್ರೆ ಇಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ನಾಟ್ ವರ್ಕ್ ಗುಡ್. ಅದನ್ನ ತೆಗೀರಿ. ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಕುತ್ಕೊಂಡು ಡಿಸ್ಕಸ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಇದಿದೆ ಹೇಳ್ಬೇಕಂತ ಪ್ಲಾನ್ ಮಾಡಿ. ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ತುಂಬಾ ಕಷ್ಟ ಇದೆ ಫೈನಲ್ ಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟೇಶನ್.
ನೀವು ಇಷ್ಟು ಫೇಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನ್ ಮಾರ್ಕ್ಸ್ ತಗೊಂಡಿದ್ದೀರಾ, ದಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಅ ಡಿಫರೆಂಟ್ ಸ್ಟೋರಿ. ಫೈನಲ್ ಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟ್ ನಾನು ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ರಿವ್ಯೂಲು ಹೇಳ್ದೆ, ಲೈಕ್ ಫೈನಲ್ ಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟೇಶನ್ ಶುಡ್ ಬಿ ವೆರಿ ವೆರಿ ಗುಡ್. ಯಾಕೆ ಹೇಳ್ದೆ? ಎಂಟೈರ್ ಮಾರ್ಕ್ಸ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ಡಿಪೆಂಡೆಂಟ್ ಆನ್ ದಿಸ್. We are not telling that you have not worked or you have not done anything anta. You have put your all your efforts, you have done your best, but it's not so clear.
Okay, maybe we will work on the presentation. We are clear with our objectives. Maybe there's a
and one more thing which I mentioned earlier, whenever you used to present, I already mentioned this in the beginning, right? You were so clear, like, ma'am, this we are going to do, this will happen in this way, like that. But when it comes to your demonstration, link ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಲ್ಲಿ. ಫಸ್ಟೇ ಆಂಬಿಗ್ಯೂಟಿ ಬಂತು, ಲೈಕ್ ಯೂಸರ್ ಟೆಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಬರ್ತಾನೆ. ದೀಸ್ ಥಿಂಗ್ಸ್ ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ನಾಟ್ ಮೆನ್ಷನ್ಡ್ ಅರ್ಲಿಯರ್ ಅಲ್ವಾ? ನಾವು ಬೇರೆ ತರಾನೇ ಏನೋ ಅನ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ವಿ, ಓಕೆ ಈ ತರ ಆಗ್ಬೋದು ಅಂತ. ಅಂಡ್ ಒನ್ ಮೋರ್ ಥಿಂಗ್, ಈಗ ನೀವೇನ್ ವೆಬ್ಸೈಟ್ ಡೆವಲಪ್ ಮಾಡಿದೀರಾ ಇದ್ರಿಂದ ಏನ್ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಯೂಸ್ ಆಗ್ತಿದೆ ಅಂತ ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ಎಂಫಸೈಸ್ ಆನ್ ಇಟ್. ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಯು ಟೆಲ್ ಮೀ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ?
one is it's giving
ಈಗ
the real
ಸಿಂಧು
time.
ಮ್ಯಾಮ್ ಹೇಳಿದಾಗೆ ಅವರೇ ಅವ್ರದ್ದು ರಿಯಲ್ ಟೈಮ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೀರಿಯನ್ಸ್ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರಲ್ವಾ, ಲೈಕ್
So
ಗವರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ನಮಗ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದು ರಿಪೋರ್ಟ್ ಕೊಡ್ತಿದ್ರು ಅಂತ.
And that frequency is every 1 year.
So if you are developing the
every 1
website,
hour.
What?
The frequency of which the government is sending report is 1 year, ma'am. But here you are having the real time data of the soil. So nam soil ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನ್ ನಡೀತಿದೆ real time ಆಗಿ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನಮಗೆ ಕಾಣಿಸ್ಕೊತಿದೆ. Which so if that was to be done manually every 1 hour, nobody is going to do the testing, right, ma'am? So this is serving as a user interface of the values that we are collecting from the sensors.
Every 1 hour ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರಲ್ಲ, every day, is it necessary for your crop? ಒಂದ್ಸಲ ಕ್ರಾಪ್ ಹಾಕಿದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಹ್ಯೂಮಿಡಿಟಿ ಎಲ್ಲ ಚೆಕ್ ಮಾಡೋ ನೆಸೆಸಿಟಿ ಇದೆಯಾ?
I think yes, ma'am, because some crops are so much dependent on humidity and soil moisture. ಈಗ ಪ್ಯಾಡಿಗೆ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ನೀರ್ ಹಾಕಿದ್ರೆ it will go away, ma'am. it'll die. There won't be any good harvest. So since we are on a budget constraint, we might not be able to procure those many sensors. But ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಇಡೀ ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ಲ್ಯಾಂಡ್ಗೆ ಒಂದೊಂದು ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ಗೂ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಸಾಯಿಲ್ ವಾಟರ್ ಲೆವೆಲ್ ಎಷ್ಟಿದೆ ಅಂತ ಗೊತ್ತಾದ್ರೆ ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಮೇಂಟೈನ್ ಆಪ್ಟಿಮಮ್, ರೈಟ್ ಮ್ಯಾಮ್? ಒಂದ್ ಕಡೆ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಆಗಿ ಆ ಕಡೆ ಕ್ರಾಪ್ಸ್ ಹತ್ತೋಗೋದು, that scenario doesn't arise at all. Are you able to make sense of what I'm telling, ma'am?
Yeah.
Real okay, I couldn't get a better word, sorry, excuse me for that. So I feel real time is really necessary and really useful to the farmer as well. Iga, if you could
This
share your
sentence
experience, ma'am.
makes sense, Nitin. Like you're going or your project is going to give the real-time data. It makes sense.
Yes, okay, that's what I was trying to say, ma'am. So
Okay.
the main objective, or if we see on a broader sense, uh, we are giving the entire stuff that the government is doing right into the palm of farmer hands, just a few clicks away. 1 year, 1 year. Iga, suppose now government is giving the recommendation every 1 year. So the crops might the nature of the soil might change every 6 months. So so first 6 months he will plant the crop which the government recommended. The next 6 months also he'll do the crop that the government has recommended, and it will fail. But using our system, since we are giving real-time values and repeatedly feeding input values, he might be able to reduce the risk of a crop failure. Hello, am I audible?
Yes, Nitin.
Yeah, you're audible.
Yeah. So see, ma'am, there are already so many systems in place, and now you can see that the AI, deep learning, and all that is going at a very fast forward
Then
rate.
where you're
We
using the
as
machine learning concept? One sec.
For recommending the
Okay.
for the
ಇವಾಗ
crop recommendation.
crop and fertilizer.
ಓಕೆ
Crop recommendation actually.
ಫಾರ್ಮರು NPK ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂಸ್ ನ ಕೊಟ್ಮೇಲೆ ಅದು ಟೆಸ್ಟೆಡ್ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂಸ್ ನ
Yes, ma'am.
ನಾವು ಸಾಯಿಲ್
how it is
ಸೆನ್ಸರ್ಸ್
going to
ಇಂದ
predict ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನೀವು ಮಿಷಿನ್ ಲರ್ನಿಂಗ್ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀರಾ. Is
exactly,
it?
ma'am.
Yes,
Yes.
ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And to sense the data, you are using the IoT part.
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am. So
Alva.
we had a plan of if you could remember the previous presentations or even the pitching of the project idea, we told we wanted to connect a grid sensor, but you can see the budget constraint, ma'am. The present cost for our
It is
project is
okay. You
12,000.
can explain while explaining, but while demonstrating, you can also say that we are just
So
developing a
you can
prototype.
see that we have
You also
implemented.
told LoRa use ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದೀರಾ.
Yes,
That can be used for 10 kilometers, but due to budget constraint, you are using it for 1 kilometer. That's it. In that way, you
Yes.
can
Yes,
explain. You can manage the things.
Yeah, we have given a POC for what we told, while not in a very big manner, but the smallest part, basic now objectives ಏನೇನ್ ಹೇಳಿದೀವಿ, we have implemented that and we have shown you. It's right there in the website,
That's
ma'am.
why I had asked you, like
Yeah.
while demonstrating, you just relate your objective and
I do apologize if there were any miscommunications or if you weren't clear. Uh, I don't think this will be happening in the final presentation now.
yeah, this shouldn't.
Yeah. We can
Okay.
also do other calls where you
And
can
I
give us
also didn't
rapid
get
feedback.
any answer for the automation part, like testing part. You use JMeter
Yeah,
tool. That's it.
yeah.
I
Let me
didn't
just.
get any answer for that as well.
Shall I just share the screen, Shiv Shankar? Make me the host,
yeah.
please.
Sure. Okay, I've stopped here. Nitin can you host it, Nitin?
Yeah, I can. So what you're seeing on the screen is the JMeter testing, ma'am. I had deleted the header request, so and this is dark theme. So just a second.
You can you change the background color of it so that it will be more visible? Yeah.
Yeah, I think, yeah, I was just doing that. So this is where the threads are making calls to the APIs. So I had done for 1,000 and everything was, uh, I mean, everything got responded. So you can see it's a very long list actually, really long list.
If that is the case, then we'll have one more session about this automation part only. Okay,
Yeah, sure. Yeah,
implementation
yes,
for
ma'am.
one and automation for one.
Yep.
We have not gone through it so properly. You can have some more time with this, then we
Yeah,
can have. Okay,
sure, ma'am. Yeah,
then I'll ask you in detail like how it is going to work. What about the test cases, everything.
yeah,
Okay,
sure, ma'am. Yeah,
if you're telling JMeter, then everything about the JMeter. And also, in this session, I think only the sensors implementation we saw. That's it, Alama. But in the next presentation, I'm going to see all the implementation part.
You can see the
you
API,
see,
what we have built it here.
yeah. So this is the IP address of the API. So this is just to tell that the
complete ಇವಾಗ ನನ್ಗೆ ಹಾಫ್ ಏನ್ ತೋರಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀರಾ ಅದನ್ನ ಬಿಟ್ಬಿಡಿಯಪ್ಪ. ಇವಾಗ
ma'am.
ವೈಂಡ್ ಅಪ್ ಮಾಡೋಣ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್. ನೀವು ಎಲ್ಲ ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿ
Okay.
ಪ್ರಿಪೇರ್ ಆಗಿ ಆಂಬಿಗಿಟಿನ ಏನಿದೆ ಎಲ್ಲ ಕ್ಲಾರಿಟಿ ತಗೊಂಡು ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡೋಣ. ಓಕೆನಾ?
Is
Sure,
that
ma'am.
fine?
Okay.
I think
Milestone ಅದೇ ಇದೆಯಲ್ಲ ma'am.
work on it more. ಇಷ್ಟು
Yeah,
ದಿನ ವರ್ಕ್
the
ಮಾಡಿದ್ದು ವೇಸ್ಟ್ ಆಗಬಾರ್ದು. Okay.
yeah
Sure, ma'am.
milestone
So do
4
some more
is
homework.
yes, ma'am. So milestone 4 is going to be about the demonstration part where we'll be recording our sensors and all that. So in that we will give a clear picture of how the website is working, how each step is happening with the procedure and
Everything,
everything.
whatever you
Yeah.
had presented in the Milestone 3 will be repeated.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
If
Yeah.
you
We will,
if you are demonstrating the things, then I'll be asking about the implementation part.
sure
Fine?
thing, ma'am. Yes.
ಓಕೆ.
Okay.
ನೀವು ಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟೇಶನ್ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಾ ಆಯ್ತಾ. ನಾನು ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಇಂದಾನು ನನ್ಗೆ ನಿಮ್ ಬ್ಯಾಚ್ ತುಂಬಾ ಇಷ್ಟ ಇದೆ, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಬರ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ. ಅದಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ ಆದ್ರೂ
Yeah,
ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ
that is
ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು.
true.
Thank you, ma'am. Sure, ma'am.
ಓಕೆನಾ?
Yes, ma'am.
ಓಕೆ.
Fine. We can stop this session.